Hey guys, Omni here, our favorite breakdown channel, New Rockstars, has got a video today for us that I wanted to check out because it was something actually I've been curious about. Obviously, since the movie in question is not on streaming, I haven't been able to go back and confirm some of my own suspicions here and there on this thing, but this, of course, is a breakdown of the Easter eggs and details you might have missed for Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy, which I reviewed here on the channel. I had a blast with it. I saw it twice in theaters, and it was so much fun. It was a surprise, to be honest, for me. I wasn't expecting it to be all that great or all that powerful, and I had a really strong and enjoyable time with it. And there's a lot of fun little video game Easter eggs in there, and I really liked kind of picking through some of those things. And there's some moments that even just like raised the hype level by just having it in there, man. There's some very fun surprises in the movie, and I do recommend checking it out if you have not already. It's a fun theatrical ride, and I do recommend it if you can go out and watch it safely. But let's go ahead and see if there's any details that Mr. Voss has been able to find that I didn't necessarily find myself going through the film. So let's go ahead and jump into this.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds as a non-playable character in a Fortnite-style game who gains AI sentience. This movie is filled with Easter eggs and references to games and nerdy movies, and spoiler warning, while any
it's more like GTA Online. There's not really any Fortnite-like things in it except for some references.
This film is the subtle ways the filmmakers designed Free City to have a simulated feel in order to better reflect Guy's Truman Show Matrix reality. So let's go back through this movie to discuss some stuff that you might have missed. The opening scene glides down into Free City, similar to the way players drop into Fortnite, with Channing Tatum playing the
fair enough. There is that
last hero Guy wishes he was. Down on the street, things take a Grand Theft Auto turn when he detaches his parachute on the police car windshield, causing it to spin out. And from this madness, the camera moves into Guy's bedroom window through the blinds, which we later learn are the key evidence to Millie and Key's original game code Paradise Island, which is accessible through a barrier like the barrier we just passed through. The solution to the problem in the opening minute of the film. Now, the film's production designer, Ethan Todman, designed Guy's apartment with the idea that as an NPC, Guy would have a fixed amount of gigabytes for his home life. So his books behind his bed have no titles on them. His pantry only has cereal and a single spoon. His calendar over his TV is missing the 4th day of the month, and the dominoes on his table are arranged in a loop, reflecting how the steps
I didn't notice
of his
the calendar
day are
thing.
just one inevitable cascade into the next, circling back on itself. Also, his front door has 5 deadbolts but no knob. At the coffee shop, the board reads weak coffee, strong coffee, really good coffee, really hot coffee, really dark coffee, and really weak coffee, which are all just pretty much variants of the same thing. And then on the other side of the board, there's coffee, coffee with milk, and coffee without milk, which is just coffee, but still all listed
Except
separately.
you can still only order one thing.
It's a character glitch outside of the background, and extra repeatedly running into the bins. The big
I love
shoes
background
that he
shit
wants
like
to buy
that in
have
this
a
movie,
string
man.
of binary code on the sole, and when Guy checks the ATM, stomping around in the background, looks like either
Mech
a
Warrior
Metal
suit.
Gear Rex or a Harvester bot from Terminator Salvation. Now, Molotov Girl
Maybe.
is played by Jodie Comer, who also plays Millie, and at first looks like very different characters. The
My
tipster
headphones.
that she meets in the
My old
alleyway
headphones.
is actually a vocal cameo by Hugh Jackman. Guy passes Molotov Girl on the street as she sings
Oh,
Mariah
wow.
Carey's Fantasy, the song that he wakes up to every morning.
I didn't
because,
notice
as we
that.
learn later, Keys programmed him to fall in love with a dream girl with qualities based on Millie's quirks. And as he looks at her, behind him in the background, there's another player who just kind of swings their arms aimlessly. And they stand next to a storefront with a sign reading, "Your loan is already approved. This store is a scam." As Guy follows her, behind him is the
Scorpion
Halo Scorpion
tank.
It actually shows up a few times throughout the film. And in the back, the skull
that
mask
one wasn't
robber
it.
is
Hold
actually a
on.
vocal cameo by
that was a normal tank. Yeah, that was the Scorpion tank. That's a perfectly normal tank.
throughout the film. And in the bank, the skull masked robber is actually a vocal cameo by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I'll give them right back. I said no!
Oh,
When Guy
wow.
first puts on the
Holy
tinted
shit, didn't know
sunglasses,
that.
you can see on his menu his one move is harmless slap, and among his inventory is a paperclip, a receipt, and a Metro Pass. Just stuff he would already have on him. Nearby is a trash bin that is filled with these orange coffee cups, since every NPC in Free City drinks the same medium coffee, 1 cream, 2 sugars. After stealing the money from Tuxedo Baby, the carjacking victim in the background does this kind of awkward adjustment as his hands are up, kind of like NPCs sometimes do as he's stealing their car. Guy walks down the street marveling at the new graphics he can see, including this gin bottle with a subtle product placement. Stranger Things actor Joe Keery plays Keys, a programmer for Tsunami Games head Antoine, played by Taika Waititi. Keys goes into the game to try to stop Guy. Guy flees, he misses the wrecking ball, bounces to safety, but then just gets hit by the car. Anyway, Molotov Girl takes Guy into her stash house, which from the outside is just a small shipping container, but is way bigger on the inside, like many of the stash houses in this game, which is actually a choice by the production designers. They were following by the rules of impossible geography and physics in a video game. As Guy gets more popular, we get
very common in GTA too.
Like Ninja, Jacksepticeye, Dan DTM, Laserbeam, and Pokimane. Actually, John Krasinski cameos as that silhouetted gamer in the interview. The late
I was wondering who the fuck that was supposed to be.
One of the categories there is Famous Blakes, a nod to Ryan Reynolds' wife, actress Blake Lively. Also, the avatar who kicks Guy in the balls looks a lot like Serena from Gossip Girl. That's Blake Lively's character. Guy does a bunch of good deeds, like extinguishing a fellow who's constantly on fire.
Those
just
two,
for
man.
That poor guy to get shot and teabag shortly after. Hey, by the way, men's bodies change and become less efficient over time. It's not just older folks either. Tens of millions of men experience low testosterone and hormone imbalance. Your home assessment test with free shipping. While helping Millie get the file, Guy uses a Mega Man style arm blaster, and then at this moment among his inventory, we see he has more paper clips. They escape through the window, gliding away on a Fortnite parachute glider. In Guy's stash house, there's a space shuttle pod with both American and Canadian flags, a nod to Ryan Reynolds' Canadian background. In Millie's apartment, there is some art on the wall showing a boy playing with Iron Giant. And can we please stop forcing Iron Giant Easter eggs in all these Easter egg movies? Let Superman rest in peace. Molotov Girl takes Guy into the tavern where she finally tells him the nature of his reality. On the leaderboard, you can see the top player is Tuxedo Baby, that same player who crash landed in front of Guy earlier, whose money he took.
Who was only level 12? How is he at the top of the leaderboard?
On the other side of the bar is that skull masked bank robber. That could be Tuxedo Baby using this skin, since the other players who used that skin died earlier. So then Guy freaks out.
I mean,
goes
you
out in
don't.
the middle of the street, gets
You can have
hit
duplicate
by cars,
skins,
which is a nod to Brad Pitt's memorable death in Meet Joe Black. They meet Channing Tatum's character again. He's actually played by a nerd, played by actor Maddie Carter-Ruppel, Keith in Stranger Things, alongside Joe Keery, which is produced by this movie's director, Shawn Levy. Meanwhile, Tina Fey cameos as his vacuuming mom. In his bedroom are posters for Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool, of course it's a Ryan Reynolds movie, got
Rick and
Deadpool
Morty
in there. Rick and Morty, and X-Files, I Want to Believe poster, Joust.
I didn't notice that one.
Funko
Alright,
Pop
this
back
guy's
there,
my favorite
and a
character in the
convention
movie.
badge hanging up. And then on
He's got
his
an
desk
X-Files
is
poster.
Jack Skellington and a book for D&D Dungeon Masters. My kind of dude. And then as Guy leaves, Channing Tatum seems to improvise a reference to Thanos' gauntlet. Now, Antoine has the game rebooted. Molotov kisses Guy to restore his memory, and they rally the other NPCs to go on strike. They drive through the collapsing city, and Keys builds a ramp for them, but the VFX team of this movie intentionally put under that ramp blank blue sky, which they talked about in an interview because you don't develop crust magma in a video game, and like in the Truman Show, behind.
Speaking of that, fun story of the first time I ever really experienced a major glitch in a video game was in the first Assassin's Creed. Somehow, when I was running from the guards that were chasing me in that game, I tried to jump and climb up this building and ended up going into the window, and I was inside the building, like where you're not supposed to be. And then just randomly, when you look down, there's just a lake. There's just water, like a giant ocean. Because like it just goes to show, like they just like those things, because they're in the background. You're not supposed to really ever interact with them, like the skybox, and then some of those elements, and everything's just kind of stacked on top of it. It's like, yeah, I was like, it's exactly what I thought about that. It's like, of course, you're not supposed to go below ground level at all in this game. Your skybox is just going to be the only thing under you. So I like that little detail in this, because like, yeah, it's just how they're built.
Behind the curtain, there would be nothing there. Antoine unleashes the unfinished upgrade dude with Ryan Reynolds' face layered on bodybuilder and pro wrestler Aaron Reed. The guy is 6'7". As he approaches Guy with the death blow, he does this kind of like arm pump move. That was Henry Cavill's move from Mission Impossible Fallout. His underwear reads game over. Guy gets his ass handed to him as Millie and others plead him to get up, similar to Trinity in The Matrix begging Neo, who was down in the simulated reality, to get up and fight back.
Now get up.
And Guy does fight back
Yes.
using Captain America's freaking shield, along with Hulk's arm, and Alan Silvestri's Avengers theme plays here. And amazingly, Chris Evans cameos watching all this from a coffee shop saying, "What
my
the
theater
shit?"
lost
According to
their
Ryan
shit.
Reynolds, he knew Chris Evans just happened to be in Boston on the day they were shooting, and he texted him asking if he wanted to come help them out with a simple cameo, and Evans is like, "I've got 10 minutes," and they made it work. He agreed, he showed up, and they got him in and out in under 7 minutes. Why couldn't they do that
Damn.
for Falcon the Winter Soldier? I guess because he would have had to be an old man. And if that's not enough, Guy ignites a lightsaber as a Star Wars theme plays. But I love how he holds that handle below frame, allowing it to erect from a very Spaceballs angle as he raises his eyebrows suggestively. Then the lightsaber turns into the Rainbow Smash pickaxe for Fortnite, delivers a major blow, then he turns it into the gravity gun, and then he uses the portal gun. But Guy ends up defeating the dude by putting his sunglasses on him, sharing his vision with him. And notice how dude's inventory includes a
Whey
tub of
protein.
whey protein. Antoine tries to wreck the servers, but Guy makes it all the way to the island, giving Millie and Keys their victory. And it is revealed what I actually thought was pretty obvious throughout the film, that Guy was Keys' sort of love letter to Millie. And Guy and Buddy live on peacefully in their Sims-like paradise. You can support new rock stars by checking out our merch options, including our...
All right, so I feel like aside from the celebrity cameos outside of Channing Tatum, I did not catch whatsoever. Like the Tina Fey one, the Rock one, the Hugh Jackman one in the beginning. Yeah, I did recognize any of those voices while I was watching it. Other than that, yeah, I think I caught most of it. I feel like there's still more in there. Like there's more background stuff. There's even like a scene where you can see a guy, because this is something you do. Like you see people doing, especially a lot more frequently with a game like Cyberpunk. People trying to figure out how to break the game, how to glitch it and stuff like that, getting into secret areas, getting into off-limits zones. There's a couple of scenes, like obviously you see people just doing random game animations. Like, a lot of people like to just kill the time while they're walking. So a lot of people will just jump and hop and walk while they're going down. Like I do that in Halo. It's like I'm always jumping while I'm running most of the time, just to kind of keep things kinetic. And you can see that in the background a couple times. Some players just mindlessly just jumping for no reason as they're walking down the street. And then there's one scene in particular where a guy is like just jumping into a window repeatedly, and then he gets stuck and just starts going because he's trying to like get past the game wall and get into the building where you're not supposed to be. Kind of like what happened in that story I described about Assassin's Creed. Like there's a lot of fun little details like that in the game, obviously, or in the movie, that I really appreciated because like it represents the real gaming experience in a way that a lot of movies haven't. While there is still a lot of Hollywoodisms in here as far as the gaming world and the perception of gaming applies, it does have a lot of things in here that are pretty accurate for the most part. And I really like that. And there's one scene in particular that I feel like there's a lot of potential for some Easter eggs there if we got to see it. But in I think it's Guy's stash house, there's a wall full of silhouetted weapons. You can't really make out a lot of them because it's backlit, but you can see the silhouette of like 50 some odd weapons, different types of weapons and guns and stuff. So I'm like, there's gotta be a bunch of things back there. Both times that moment, that flash, that scene, that shot where that shows in the background is so fast. The two times I've seen the movie, I have not been able to look at it long enough to see if I can make out any of those weapons. With the Halo references and stuff like that, I feel like I could pick out some Halo weapons. Obviously, I would feel like that would be pretty easy if there are any at all. Aside from that, a lot of your standard real-world guns are going to look very similar. There were some in there that definitely had some alien look to them. It could be any number of games. I'm just like, I want to see if I can recognize some of these silhouettes. So it seems like, they didn't even like, I don't know if they combed that scene and didn't find anything, or if they were just kind of hitting the kind of broad points. Because there's like a couple of things that, that could have been glossed over for all we know, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it does make it kind of harder to get a breakdown of it unless they had like a screener copy of the movie. I don't know how they how they have this footage since it's not on streaming yet. So I don't know. So one of the things I was like, ah, damn it, I wish this was on streaming so I can go back and comb through this movie because I had a lot of fun with those little nuggets and like getting a good look at the HUD and seeing what all was in there. Obviously, you know, his basic attacks, his basic inventory, I didn't notice either because it's again so fleeting in the moment. Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this movie a lot, and Channing Tatum popping up, doing a little step up dance routine. I always forget that that dude can really bust a move out because he's a really great dancer, man. I haven't seen Magic Mike, but I have seen Step Up, so there is that at least. But I had fun with this movie, man. I had fun with the Easter eggs. It was thank you, Eric, for going through this movie because I didn't feel like anybody was really going to. At least anybody that I follow. This was the first one I saw come up, and obviously it's been what, over a week since the movie came out, so I kind of forgot about it at this point. But anyway, what did you guys think? Were there any Easter eggs that you caught while you were watching it that didn't get pointed out here? What's your favorite Easter egg? Honestly, for me, it's got to be that Chris Evans cameo moment. That moment when he whips out the shield, the Avengers theme plays, and it just got my theater roaring, man. And then when that's followed up with the lightsaber and John Williams orchestral soundtrack kicking in over that as he's fighting, dude, my theater lost their shit, man. And that's one thing I really enjoy about the theatrical experience is like shit like that, like stuff like that, hype moments, like sharing that moment with everybody around you is a lot of fun. And that's just not really, unless you're watching a movie with a bunch of friends, like at home, that's just something you don't really get. And it's fun. I think it's more powerful when it's a bunch of strangers in a way, you know? I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, guys, I had fun with it. If you haven't seen this movie and you watch this, you might be spoiled for the movie, but still, go check it out. It's a blast. Seeing it in action, it's a lot of fun. Check out my review. I talk about my favorite things about the film and what I liked about it. But yeah, that's it. So sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Huge shout out to our channel legends, Mandy Share, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, and Philly Vane. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you want to come hang out and discuss your favorite films, TV, video games, whatever, come join our Discord or follow me on all my socials. Links to all those are in the description of this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.